fine, whatever.
He had more than one match. It's allowed.
I mean, you had Mr. T in your top 10. That's crazy to me.
He had more than one match.
Right.
Number 2.
Ready. Newsstand vs Newsletter embarks on a journey of a classic wrestling year. Were the PWI readers accurate with their assessment of talent? Were the Wrestling Observer newsletter subscribers more right than wrong? Join longtime friends Scotty and Andrew as they talk about Newsstand vs Newsletter.
Welcome to another episode of Newsstand vs Newsletter. I'm your host, the future Hall of Famer, Scotty B. I'm going to bring in Hacksaw Andy. I hope he's on travel with the Iron Sheik there, buddy boy. Don't be getting that Coca-Cola caught with you. It's a good name to pick. Good name to pick for this year because we are doing 1987. Finally, this is our third time recording this episode, and hopefully we don't lose this one. That would be nice if we didn't lose it. That would be really nice. So,
yeah.
But 1987, that's a fun year, and got lots of fun stuff coming up. This one, big episode. We got Andrew with 2 magazines. Got me with the Observer, but I also have Observer yearbook notes that I'll go over, and we'll just hop right into it, man, because it's a big episode. We're gonna be going a long time. 1987 for you. Let's kind of break it down.
Well, I was neck deep in my wrestling fandom. That was pretty much it. Like, I mean, I was going to school, going to our cabin for weekends in the summer. But for me, it was pro wrestling was the be all and the end all. I was the wrestling guy in school, which I'm sure you were as well.
Oh, yeah. That sucks when you get older, man. You have parties, you're trying to hit on girls. Like, hey, is the Ultimate Warrior 2 guys? You're like, dude, can you fuck off somewheres and go away?
Yeah.
Go away. Talk to me later. Talk to me later when no one's around. I'll tell you everything you need to know. But right now, I'm trying to not look like a complete loser. So please stop doing that. So that's basically it. Just wrestling.
Yeah, it's mostly just the wrestling. Do you want to keep track of the stores?
No, you can. You can. I'll let you do that because I worked for like 7 hours on this goddamn thing. So you're keeping track of this one. Because I'll tell you one thing, children, it's not all fun and games putting this stuff together. It was a bit of a stressful afternoon. But it's all evening. It's 12:22 a.m. where I'm at. It's Andrew's in Hawaii, so it's 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's still sunny. It's still light out, so we'll say it's 1 in the afternoon.
It is pretty light out.
Yeah. Well, light goes down around 9:30. So yeah, 1987 for me was kind of basically between that, the pro wrestling, and the harness racing because I was still into the harness race, but I was getting ready to get out of it. I was definitely getting more into wrestling. WrestleMania 3 was my big one that like I got my stepfather rented it on tape. Big deal. Seeing the opening with the crowd, I was just like, oh, like that's so cool. And I'd watched it, but that was my like, boom, I'm in now. I think that happened for a lot of people. WrestleMania 3 made a lot of people get into it big time.
Yeah, I was already pretty into it. I was going to say, I think 87 might have been the first year that I was watching WWF weekly television, but I think it was late 86 that I started that. So I remember the Captain Lou Albano retirement angle.
Oh, we get to Lou later. Don't worry. Lou's getting brought up later.
Sure
He's brought up. So I'm going to jump into, we're going to go right into it, man, because we got lots to go here. What are you doing there? What's this?
Don't sell it.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Nothing.
Well, you're our Hacksaw Andrew today. All right. So we're going to jump into the yearbook notes for this year because I got a few of them coming up. And we're going to start with the biggest stories of the year, pretty much, for the U.S. and Japan. So the biggest stories for the U.S. is going to be, I got to move my camera here. No, it's not. Silverdome, or actually, I'll go 10-9. 10-1. I just gave away one. Number 10, the WWF holds an Old Timers Battle Royal November 16th at the Meadowlands. This was important in Japan because Lou Thez was achieved legendary status over there. So Lou Thez was in the Legends Battle Royal, which I find really crazy.
Yeah, he won it.
It's very, but he was on TNT also.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a total hate for WWE, which is interesting.
No, it's funny. Because I remember in the wrestling magazines, you know how they would take liberties with the truth?
Yeah.
And they would have different old school wrestlers commenting on the modern product. And you'd have guys like Toru Tanaka, Killer Kowalski. And I remember Lou Thez. And I don't think it was actually Lou. I think, somebody at London Publishing.
Pretend to be Lou.
Yeah, just writing as Lou. And that was my first exposure to Lou Thez, just from the mag.
Yeah, it's probably me too. So that was number 10. Number 9, Paul Bosch retires as Houston wrestling promoter after 55 years in the wrestling business on August 28th. Number 8, Mike Von Erich commits suicide at the age of 23 on April 16th, day before my birthday. Number 7, Ric Flair regains the NWA World title from Ronnie Garvin on Starrcade 97. Number 6, Kerry Von Erich returns to wrestling on October 17th at the Cotton Bowl, which obviously returns from the foot injury that he sustained while driving his bike with no shoes or socks on. Not his bicycle, children, his motorcycle.
Yeah.
So kind of a don't do that. Probably the best idea. Where's that? 5. UWF is sold to Jim Crockett Promotions and folds, which was a bad idea on their part. They could have done really well with that. Like every promotion with the invasion angles, they suck. Number 4, Nick Bockwinkel retires from the ring after losing the heavyweight title, then joins WWF as a broadcaster. I think debuting in MSG. Is that, am I right, Andrew?
Bockwinkel?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was introduced by Heenan.
Yeah. Number 2, Ronnie Garvin upsets Ric Flair for the world title on September 25th in Detroit. Number 2, I think that's number 3. Number 2, Hogan defeats Andre at WrestleMania 3. And number 1, WrestleMania 3.
Just the whole card.
The whole card was number 1, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody loved that Killer Bees against Sheik and Volkov match.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. Okay, so I'm going to try Japanese stuff without trying to fuck up everyone's name. Number 10, famous Canadian Konichi. This is like me in Japan, almost like a Johnny Carson. Gets involved in pro wrestling as to a challenge to Tony Inoki on December 4th at Sumo Hall. You know what that challenge ended up being, right?
Big Van Vader?
Vader. He brings Vader in, yeah. Animal Hinuski retires at age 39 after 19 years of wrestling career. Jumbo Ceruto and Yuso form a tag team and capture the World Tag League Tournament on December 11th, defeating Bruiser Brody and Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Number 6, the new leaders and the now leaders feud. Number 5, Bruiser Brody and Abdullah the Butcher return to All Japan after several years' absence. If you watch the Bruiser Brody documentary, they actually talk about that pretty detailed. Number 4, Kiyomiya Shukick on Riki Chosu in Japan, November 19th. Number 3, Tenryu turns heel and keeps interest in All Japan Alive, which 87, man, I'll tell you, this shit changes real quick in the 90s. They get big quickly. I'm going to move my camera. I'm sorry. Number 2, Riki Chosu jumps from All Japan to New Japan. And number 1, Antonio Inoki and Masa Saito had the jungle match. That's the number 1 thing in Japan that year. That's weak year in Japan, man. And then if you look at that, that's basically all. Isn't that like All Japan? Like there's no New Japan stuff in there. Well, I shouldn't say Inoki and Saito, but no, and Chosu. Okay, all right. Biggest live crowds of the year. Let's just take a look here. Load my thing up. Number 5, 19,745 at MSG, September 21st for Hulk Hogan versus the One Man Gang. Number 4, 20,000 at Joe Louis Arena for the February 21st Saturday's main event, which is the Battle Royal.
Yep.
Number 3, 21,000 at Charlotte's Stadium. Great American Bash, Dusty Rhodes versus Tully Blanchard barbed wire match. Road Warrior Hawk versus Ric Flair. Number 2, Survivor Series. And number 1, obviously, WrestleMania. It's not too hard to figure that one out. Biggest gates of the year. Excuse me. Number 5, Summer Night Fever in Corrigan. Somo Hall. Number 4, Inoki Live 2. What is the main event in that match? It's Inoki and Saito and Akira Maeda and Takada. Number 3, Starrcade 87. Number 2, Survivor Series. And what's number 1, Andrew? Take a wild guess what number 1 is the biggest gate that year.
Was it the David/Mike Von Erich Parade of Champions?
Well, by 87, no one gave a fuck about that. They were dropping.
Was it a challenge taping?
Yeah, Okay, you know what it is, Mania. Right? I'm going to go through the top stories of the year. That might be repetitive. Number 10, Road Warriors sign a long-term deal with Crockett. Number 9, Akira Mining kicks Chosu in the face. Number 8, Jerry Lawler loses his hair to Austin Idol. Number 7, you and the Iron Sheik are arrested in the same car because you're Haxley Andrew. Yeah. Number 6, Garber wins the world title. Number 5, Mike Von Erich dies. Number 4, the battle to Thanksgiving was a Starcade Survivor Series. Number 3, Chosu and friends leave All Japan for New Japan. Number 2, WrestleMania grosses $17.1 million and draws 90 quote unquote thousand people. And number 1, what is the number 1 story of 1987, Adrian?
Is it just like the WWF dominance?
Nope. Crockett buys UWF, which I find that's a kind of a crazy like number 1 story. I would think Mania would be number 1. Like that's just a little much. But anyway, whatever. All right. Last but not least, top 50 wrestlers is voted on by the Observer. I think it's Meltzer that votes on this. Number 50, Bad News Allen. Number 49. Just listen to this one. Number 47, Barry Orton.
Well, was that when he was going by Zodiac in Stampede?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know how. Yeah, 47. That's kind of...
In 87, he doesn't crack the top 50. Come on, people.
Exactly. And Muda is number 46. That's 47 tied with him. Del Santo is 46. Sting, 45. Bam Bam Bigelow, 44. Jumbo, 43. 42 is Stan Lane. Sam Houston and Yasuo are 40. Pietro Morgan is 39. Kingo Kimura is 38. Stan Hansen is 37. Negro Casas is 36. Arn Anderson is 35. Steve Williams is 34. Buzz Sawyer is 33. And let's get to the top. Let's go back here. 1 second, everybody. I know you're all really excited to see this, so just relax, people. Just chill. Let's go.
There's nothing like you reading lists, you know? It's riveting.
Well, hey, I got fucking backgrounds going on, so back off a little bit. I've been working all night on this shit. Hey, I can be doing it very slowly. Hold on here. Where's my number 1? There we are. Okay. Hase is 32. Dick Murdoch. Terry Gordy. Tenryu Bruiser Brody. I'm just skipping through a couple. I'll go top 20. Brad Armstrong. Randy Macho Man Savage. Terry Taylor. Bret Hart. Yes, Mika. I can't pronounce his last name. Rick Martel, your boy. Chosu and Talia Blanchard are tied for 13th. Kurt Hennig. Tiger Mask. Ricky Steamboat. Masa Sato. Fujinami, Ted DiBiase, Bobby Eaton, Akira Maida, Barry Windham, Owen Hart, Takada, and who was number 1, everybody? It's not a hard guess. He wins it every year, right? In that. Every single year he wins number 1 since they started doing that. Like, they love their Ric Flair. Yeah. All right, let's jump into the awards because we got a lot to go with.
Okay.
So we're going to start right away with Rookie of the Year. I'm going to get you to go with your Does WrestleMania fan have it? No, it doesn't. Doesn't Rookie of the Year, does it?
Well, let's discuss that, by the way. If you're familiar with Newsstand versus Newsletter, then you're aware that most of the time we compare Pro Wrestling Illustrated awards and the Wrestling Observer Newsletter awards. And there was one episode where we deviated from that just a little bit by introducing another publication's awards. And we're going back to that. Well, a different magazine, though. Instead of Wrestling Eye, this will be Wrestling Main Event.
And it's a fucking shit show, I'll tell you. It is a fucking shit. Whoever the editor is for this goddamn magazine probably got fired right after it came out because it's not the greatest editing. Let's put it that way. Spelling is not their strong point. Let's leave it at that. That's pretty bad. But anyway, Rookie of the Year. I have my format in front of me. Let me take a peek here. So they do not have Rookie of the Year, do they? I don't think they have Rookie of the Year for them.
No, there's no Rookie of the Year for...
Okay, so we'll go with PWI and Observer. I'll let you go first with PWI. I'll give myself a guess here. Even though we've already done this, I already forgot who won it. I probably forgot 5 minutes after we recorded who won it. I'm not going to lie to you. So, Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with Brian Pillman.
That's a good guess. But it is, in fact, Owen Hart.
Okay. Owen wasn't really a rookie. I think it's like PWI was all weird, but I think Owen won it the year before for the Observer in '86.
I believe so.
So I don't know how PWI is. But anyway, yeah, Owen. Okay, go ahead.
I think it's because they look at it like a year being 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
So if you debut in, let's say, June of '86, they look at it
year.
like,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair enough. I give them that. So keep going.
So Owen wins it with 16,752 votes. First runner-up is Big Bubba Rogers with 13,352 votes. Second runner-up is Shane Douglas with 9,255 votes. And third runner-up is Doug Furness with 8,198 votes. Honorable mentions totaling 19,287 include Steve Cox, Johnny Ace, Sean Simpson, Vic Steamboat, Hiroshi Wajima, and Jay Strongbow Jr.
Oh, Jesus Christ. If he's anything like his father, fuck that guy.
Well, I don't know if you've ever seen him with his breakdancing moves. Mark Young.
Oh, God. No. No. I've seen Mark Young as a jobber. I've seen him as a jobber, but I've never seen him doing that. So
he had like the Sandman era, like red, white, and blue, like the flag stripes for the pants.
Some weird shit. All right. Who's my rookie of the year?
Is it Doug Furness?
Brian Pillman. The late Brian Pillman. And recently, his wife is the late Melanie Pillman also. Hold on a second here. Let's say, where did my thing go? Okay. Let me jump into my that was my awards out. Here they are. My runner. So Brian Pillman was with 788 votes. Shane Douglas comes second with 622. Beef Wellington third with 267. Doug Furness fourth with 176. Ron Simmons fifth with 144. We have John Tenta, Johnny Ace, the Terminator, and Steve Cox as the honorable mentions. So for that, I'm going to go with Owen on that. If you're really going to pick between the two, I'll go with Owen. Because I think Owen, the reason is in 87, Owen was like, boom, right out of the gate. Like he was already good to go. Took Pillman a little bit longer to kind of get rolling.
Well, they're both Stampede boys, both really good, right?
Oh, yeah, but I think Owen was just like, boom, right out the bat. And I get it why. I mean, Stu owned the company, so obviously Owen was going to get a push over Pillman right away.
But I mean, Pillman, I mean, he was teamed up with Bruce. They were the bad company. I mean, so he was a featured player. But Owen was a prodigy. I mean, Owen is like, when you ask people who had the best first year in wrestling history, you get people that will say Angle. Some people will say Jun Akiyama. And some people say Barry Windham. And then there's also Owen Hart. He's in that conversation as far as best rookie year of all time.
But I'll go with Owen.
I agree with you. I believe that Owen was the better rookie. As far as career-wise, I think I prefer Pillman. But if we're just talking rookie year, I mean, he's carrying a promotion. He's not just in a team. So, easily.
Yep. All right. Okay, so we're done that one. So the next one is most improved, and we get three of them. All three magazines hit it. So I'm going to we'll start with Russell's main event, go Observer, and then PWI at the end of that. So
what's the category?
Most improved. So most improved for fucking main events, weird, man. They got some weird answers in that one. But I'm going to pick Lex Luger for that one once you get to it.
Sure. The most improved, and I won't be able to show the awards for
the
wrestling main event because it would spoil all of the other winners because they're all
bunched together. Okay, that's fine.
So the most improved wrestler of the year is the total package, Lex Luger.
Yeah, they love their Lex Luger, man, in some of the magazines, and that's one of the magazines that love Lex Luger.
Well, he's a cover boy, and they don't have first runner-up, second runner-up. They just have second, third, and fourth. So consider Lex Luger as one. And second is Kendall Windham with 7,694 votes. By the way, Lex won it with 8,549 votes.
You know what? 8,000 people didn't buy that fucking magazine ever. That was never happening. Yeah, I know.
I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure about that there was not 8,000 people buying that magazine. There wasn't 800 people playing.
1987, pro wrestling. If you slapped pro wrestling on a coloring book, you were selling. I mean, this was a hot time because it's not like this nowadays. People don't buy magazines. But there was a time when this was.
Oh, bookstores were huge, dude. I used to go in and just look at magazines all fucking night. I could go to the mall, hit bookmark up, and I'd sit there for 25 minutes, half an hour going through a magazine. And the thing is, at least they'll let us, which was strange. They wouldn't even care. Like, oh, fine, whatever, let them read magazines. They didn't give a shit. And then when we got like Kohl's and like, what was it? What's the other? Indica? No, Indica's weed. There,
Indigo.
Like you could go and actually, they encourage you to sit down and read for free. I was like, this is fucking great. I read the Dynamite Kid book at Kohl's, and not Kohl's. What the hell's the name of that big place again? I think it's
Chapters.
I read the whole entire Dynamite Kid book in Chapters. I'm sure God, I sat there and read the whole thing cover to cover. It's the same word to you. Yeah, it's Dynamite's not bitter.
I have it right back here.
Yeah, well, he's
Sure, Dynamite.
It's a good. You know what? Honestly, it's a lot of. He's very honest. He doesn't put himself over. He talks about some of the bad things he did. So, but anyway, enough of that ranting and raving.
Oh, I don't know about he didn't put himself over. Come on, now let's be serious.
But he admitted to some of the horrible things that he did. He didn't deny that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Except one of the things I noticed he never really admitted to was extramarital stuff. Like he'll admit to like pointing a gun, but he didn't really.
Maybe he didn't do it.
I don't know. I can't buy that. I mean, if you're willing to, point a gun.
Oh, I get it, but I don't know. Anyway, we're not running off topic. We're most improved. Sorry, did you get through your 5 there?
Oh,
your runner-ups. Keep going.
Not even done. Third, the Honky Tonk Man with 5,512 votes, and fourth, Ron Garvin with 5,441.
Ron Garvin was around for like 20 years before this year. Like, but it's kayfabe. Okay. Wrestling Observer, most improved.
Thank you. Is it Owen?
Big Bubba Rogers. Yeah, Big Bubba Rogers wins it. And let's go take a look here. That's my format there. There we are. Big Bubba Rogers was 619 votes. Sting gets second with 319 votes. Kurt Hennig with 236, Lex Luger with 229, Funaki with 196, then Owen, Pat Tanaka, Stan Lane, Brian Pillman, Jeff Jarrett, Kendall Windham, and Eddie Gilbert. So for PWI, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Owen on that one too. No, because he won Rookie of the Year. That's completely impossible. Yeah. Give me a second here. Go with Sting.
It's a good guess, but it is in fact Kurt Hennig. He wins Most Improved Wrestler of the Year with 15,568 votes. First runner-up is Al Perez with 13,457 votes. Second runner-up is the Honky Tonk Man with 11,974 votes. Third runner-up is Sting with 9,918 votes. And honorable mentions totaling 15,234 include Brutus Beefcake, Nikita Koloff, Lex Luger, Jacques Rougeau, Ron Simmons, and Steve Williams. Just Jacques.
I'll tell you right now, I'll pick out of them 3. I'll go with the Observer on that. But there's someone who should have won that, didn't win any one of them. Hey?
Honky Tonk?
Yeah. He should have won the whole thing. Why didn't he win it? He went from being a really bad babyface in 86 to being a kick-ass heel in 87.
Well, let's look at it kayfabe-wise, okay?
Yeah.
So Hennig wins his first world title.
Yeah.
Luger, I mean, if you look at it kayfabe-wise, Honky Tonk fluke beats Steamboat and then has a lot of count-out, disqualification, basically running away and holding his title. Whereas Luger was U.S. champion, which is the equivalent of the IC title, but wasn't positioned like a chicken shit. He was the horseman's muscle to go against the Road Warrior.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I can see it.
I can see it.
Bubba makes sense. He went from a jobber to,
killer. the killer in NWA. Well, he played the bodyguards, yeah. All right, but we'll I'm gonna go with Bubba on that one. Bubba's my pick for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree.
All right. So the next award is inspirational for you, most disgusting promotional tactic for me, and promoter of the year for main event. So we will go PWI Observer main event. So inspirational wrestler of the year for you, I'm going to go with Kerry Von Erich.
Always a good guess to guess a Von Erich. However,
is it Nikita?
Nikita Koloff
Fuck.
is the winner.
Because he turns face. He turns face with Magnum.
Yeah, inspirational wrestler of the year with 18,821 votes. First runner-up is Dynamite Kid.
Yeah, he's inspirational, all right.
With 13,457 votes. Second runner-up is The Gentleman, Chris Adams, with 8,120 votes. Third runner-up is Superstar Billy Graham with 8,007 votes. And honorable mentions totaling 19,305 include Rick Steamboat, Jim Garvin, Hulk Hogan, Steve Williams, Kevin Von Erich, and Dusty Rhodes.
What a fucking team of guys we got in there. We had Dynamite Kid, who's like one of the biggest pieces of trash ever to walk Earth. Then we had Chris Adams, who's not far off. Like inspirational people, like Jesus Christ, man. Don't be like this, most of these people on that list. I know Diamond almost died in the ring, but yeah, karma kind of sucks, dude. You do bad things might happen to you. Anyway, all right. So for me, most disgusting tactic. I got to bring it up because I got to read it.
It's got to be the Fritz heart attack stuff.
No.
Oh wait, no, that
was never mind.
was Mike Von Erich, like exploitation.
Yeah, Mike Von Erich. I'll read it out to you. I just put Mike up on the screen there. I'll read it out to you. I got my worst wrestlers in the right mistake. I'll tell you. Trying to find. Okay. WCCW used Mike Von Erich's death for a memorial show / poem for Mike under a scaffold and in front of a woman's mud wrestling match. Jesus Christ, Fritz. What the fuck is wrong with that guy? Anything for... That's really weird. Like, that's very strange. Like, that's a... Oh, God. Okay. Number 2. Flair interview with a mannequin. I guess it must have been something sexual. Number 3, Deep South angle with Corporal Carl Styles. Glass eye was knocked out. Does that ring a bell to you?
Yeah, he was a territory wrestler who had a glass eye, and he would, he would use that in angles. I don't know why this year all of a sudden it was considered disgusting, but I'm not a Wrestling Observer newsletter voter. So. Number
4, WCCW / Von Erich in general. Carrie's too early return. An anti-drug message from Kerry, probably high as a fucking kite. And number 5, WCCW Oriental Tool Gimmick. So Fritz doesn't get a lot of love from the Observer this year. They're not liking him at all, man. But Fritz was a greaseball. I mean, Fritz did some really shady fucking things. So, all right. Promoter of the year for Wrestling's main event. I'm going to go with Jim Crockett. No, it was. I remember this one. It was Bob Geigel, wasn't it?
What's your pick?
Jim Crockett.
You're correct. Jim Crockett wins Promoter of the Year with 61,838 votes.
61,000.
61,838.
61,000. That is the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. 61,000 did not vote for fucking anything. Unless they went on the street, were like, hey, how you doing? Who do you think the Promoter of the Year is? Like, just pick someone. Oh, Jesse? Close enough, Jim. Let's go with it.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, keep going.
That's it. There's no runner-up for that one. It's just Jim Crockett wins Promoter of the Year with 61,800.
At least make it realistic, people. The voting numbers. That's ridiculous. But anyway. All right. Next one is most popular, or as an observer, I just say, best babyface.
Okay.
So we'll go. We got everything. We'll go. Russell's main event, Observer in the middle, PWI.
Okay.
So Russell's main event. I'm just gonna go with Hogan.
Yep. Hulk Hogan. Right here, this guy.
Yep.
The Hulkster. He wins.
Brother.
He wins most popular wrestler of the year with 46,826 votes. Second is Ricky Morton with 25,551 votes. Third, Robert Gibson with 12,493 votes. And fourth, Dusty Rhodes with 10,862 votes.
All right.
And and it's funny if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
1987, WWF, Titan Sports. Who would you say was the number 2 babyface?
Early in the year, I go with Steamboat, probably.
I'd go Piper if you're going early.
Yeah, Piper. And then Piper leaves. Fuck, it's rough, man. Like, that middle part of the summer, it's tough because Savage is turning.
Kevin Harris pushed.
Yeah, he's probably the second babyface until Savage turns full face.
Yeah.
They pushed that shit to, man, I had that tape, that 87 summer, and I watched the shit out of that as a kid, and they pushed the fuck out of Patera.
Yeah, and then once Savage establishes himself as the...
Oh, and then Patera just goes...
But that's... it makes sense that the NWA is getting the honorable mentions, the runners-up, because WF was kind of in dire need of that Savage turn.
Well, you know what's funny? Keep going.
I was just going to say, like, imagine if they keep Savage a heel. Would they just go towards Bam Bam, you think?
Probably. I think they were looking at Bam Bam that way. It's funny about Patera, because I guarantee why Patera got that big push. Vince getting that money back for all the he gave to his family when he was in prison. I bet you any money Vince was looking for that money back. This man, don't forget, this is the same guy who kept Flair around forever because Flair owed him money. I don't think Vince gives people shit thinking, no, you can keep it. No, Vince doesn't roll that way. Like, I lent you $700,000. I guess you got to work for the next 15 years, buddy. And I wouldn't be surprised in the least if you gave Patera's family money, and then he gets out of prison. He's like, all right, so you're out of prison? Great. Now you're going to be one of the top baby faces because we need you to start selling out to give me some of that money back you owe me. Wouldn't be surprised in the least. Anyway, most popular wrestler for the Wrestling Observer.
I'm going to say Hulk Hogan.
I got a question for you. Do you think he's on any kind of illegal drugs in this interview that he's doing? Say your prayers, do your cocaine, take
prayers.
Vitamins.
He's on vitamins. He's on believing in yourself. He's on the commandments, brother.
Oh, yeah. He's on
the
lots
Hulk Hogan
of stuff.
Commandments.
Hulk Hogan wins with 1,413 votes. Nagaoka, the Japanese female wrestler, is second with 370 votes. Randy Savage is third with 272. Jerry Lawler is fourth with 261. Road Warriors with 242. Ricky Chozo also 242, tied with the Road Warriors. The honorable mentions: Ricky Steamboat, Dusty Rhodes, and Antonio Inoki. And that is and I'm guessing for PWI the same thing. Or no, I'm gonna go with Dusty on that one.
It is Big Dust. Dusty Rhodes wins most popular wrestler.
You tell me they didn't want to fucking give that shit to him, man, to get the Hogan.
Yeah. Well, the way I look at it, if you think about it, like if you really get down and think about it, WWF fans are buying WF magazine.
Sorry.
So you would get wrestling fans buying Pro Wrestling Illustrated, Wrestling's Main Events. So you would have votes coming in for all sorts of different promotions. And if anything, if you were reading these magazines, the way they were slanted, because they were very anti-WWF. They treated surface.
Yeah.
And so if you were a hardcore reader and a voter, I could see Big Dust getting some votes. Plus, he was still the best stick man. He wins it with 13,622 votes. First runner-up, Hulk Hogan with 12,925. Second runner-up, Randy Savage with 12,287 votes, neck and neck. Third runner-up, Nikita Koloff with 10,005 votes. And honorable mentions totaling
Captain Lou
18,010 include Rick Steamboat, Barry Windham, Kevin Von Erich, Chris Adams, Brutus Beefcake, and Jerry Lawler.
I had to go with Hogan on it because Hogan's a bigger babyface than Dusty at that point. It's 87, man. Hogan's enormous after that Andre win. Way too big to be considered nothing against Dusty. I know Dusty was over, but not at the Hogan level.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I believe Hogan was the the best babyface. And 87 was really his last good in-ring year. Like, he would have some flashes here and there, but he really settled on a formula. In 87, you would have the Harley Race stuff.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean, he worked like a wrestler, as opposed to, I'm Hulk Hogan and I'm gonna have my match.
The least you gotta do, baby, the better. All right, so we got that last one before our halftime show. We're gonna jump into tag team of the year. Same thing. We'll go PWI, Observer, Wrestlers Main Event. So PWI, we'll go to Road Warriors.
It is actually this guy. Oops,
there goes Andrew. Hacksaw Andrew had a little look. Hacksaw Andrew's gone, everybody.
Sorry, big fingers and clumsy man. This guy and his partner. I am, of course, referring to the Midnight Express.
Yeah.
They win it with 16,383 votes. First runner-up is the Hart Foundation with 13,827 votes. Second runner-up, the Road Warriors with 11,025 votes. Third runner-up, the Rock and Roll Express with 8,012 votes. And honorable mentions totaling 17,286 include the British Bulldogs, Brad Armstrong and Tim Horner, the Fantastics, the Midnight Rockers, the Superpowers, and the Freebirds.
All right. Who is the Wrestling Observer Tag Team of the Year?
I'm going to agree. I'm going to say it's the Midnight Express.
It is the Midnight Express. We will jump in. Midnight Express win it with 1,032 votes. Akira Maeda and Takada is second with 505 votes. Road Warriors are third with 390. Condrey and Eaton, were they a tag team in 87?
First part of it.
Okay. Condrey and Eaton is fourth.
And Lane takes over.
Tenryu Mihara are fifth. And honorable mentions, Jump Bomb Angels, Pat Tanaka and Paul Diamond, Strikeforce, Rock and Roll Express, Hart Foundation, and the Islanders. And I'm going to go with the Road Warriors for main event.
It is actually the Rock and Roll Express. They win it with 41,521 votes. Second place is the Road Warriors with 21,146 votes. Third place, the Hart Foundation with 7,941 votes. Fourth, the British Bulldogs with 3,694 votes.
So I'm going to go with the Midnights on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to agree.
All right. Okay, we are going to take a quick time out and let it hear from our sponsors. And people also, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because we have lots of new stuff coming up. We're always playing around with our format and our podcasts. So it's always different, people. And then listen, I get them 2017 ones are rough. It's hard to record them, but we always make them fun. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Hey, man, listen, when you say 2017, I'm going, fuck me, really? I got to prepare for that shit. But hey, we got to do it every year. But don't forget to hit that. We got lots of things coming up. We got a Business Inc. in there that we're kind of playing around with a little bit. It's a little rough the first little bit go, but we're finding our way with it. So check that out too. That's some fun stuff. Andrew will tell you about that actually. Well, I'm going to go get myself a little glass of water to keep myself hydrated. Why don't you break down a Business Inc., Andrew, and tell them all about it?
Sure. So what our plan is to review and watch every Tom Zink match that made tape. So if there was a Z-Man match, we're going to talk about it. Now, we know that this is not an infinite possibility. We won't be able to continue talking about the Z-Man 13 years down the road. There's only so many matches. His career spanned 1984 to 1994. However, we will discuss every Tom Zink match that is available on tape. I mean, because there are house show matches that are just lost forever. You may get the occasional handheld. I mean, I'm not sure how much Tom Zink handhelds there are out there. We will look and find it. And once we are done, we will move on to someone else. It's not necessarily going to be Abyss. It could be anyone. We are going to do any wrestler that ever existed. We are going to watch their entire
catalog?
Their catalog. I was going to say discography. That's what I was thinking in my mind. And we will also discuss other things that were going on that day. So, say, for example, we've got a Tom Zink match that happened on September 11th. We will also discuss other things that happened that day in sports, in entertainment, in music, in video
TV.
games.
I like our TV show thing. TV show thing's fun, where we go to the listings of the day.
Yeah.
We pick what we would watch,
Yeah, it's quite a fun thing because it's reminiscing about that era, and we get to discuss who else is in the match because there's only so much you can say about the Z-Man. So luckily, he does have a wide assortment of opponents and partners.
Yeah.
So it gives us lots to chat about, and that's available on the channel. We're going to be running it side by side because unlike
I'll put a certain playlist out there for it. I'll make a different playlist on the channel for people if they want to jump in and grab it. I mean, because
oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying there are only so many years that we can do Newsstand versus Newsletter. So in order to branch out, we will be doing the full chronicling of Tom Zink's career. I don't know if anybody has ever taken that much care.
No, they have not. No, they have not. Nobody has.
First, every Tom Zink match ever. That made.
I'm going to say too before we jump into the halftime show, which is an interesting one. For people listening to this on Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff, make sure to like it and download it. Like and download it, people, because we are going to start branching off to them here soon because, just kind of mix it up a little bit. So the halftime show is an idea that I came up with, and mine's a little weird. Mine was done very quickly because I was also preparing for this podcast while doing this at the same time. So it's going to be very different. But it's our top 100 worst wrestlers. So number one is, in our opinion, the worst wrestler. And again, people, it's our opinion. You're more than welcome to put your opinion at the bottom.
If you have your own top 100 of wrestlers that you hate, I'd love to see it. Include it. I mean, because it's one thing to say, oh, yeah, I can do that. Do it. Just put together your bottom 100. There are no doubt wrestlers that me and Scott missed because there are a lot of professional wrestlers, but these are our list. These are wrestlers that just, for whatever reason, we didn't get along with, not on a personal basis, but in their wrestling, what they do in the ring, what they bring to it. We didn't like these guys and gals.
And let's say this, people, in your comments, everyone's allowed to have an opinion. Okay. Don't say, oh, you're effing stupid because you picked this person. Let's not be ignorant about it, people.
Oh, I am prepared to defend any of my picks. If you think that I was wrong and that somebody I chose is actually a good wrestler, I am more than happy to explain why.
You'll explain it. Don't worry. We know that. All right, let's jump into it. I'll start out at number 100 to 90. And do you want to do where we explain the 90? I don't know.
Everything on the tens. We'll just go into a little discussion about that person.
Okay, number 100, Dolph Ziggler. I'm going to put here. Number 99, Cody the Nightmare Rhodes. Because to me, he's a fucking nightmare. Not in a good way. Put me to sleep, Cody Rhodes.
Oh, by the way, did you use the preference revealer for this?
Yeah, why? What do you think? I just did it myself? Are you fucking crazy?
Well, I thought you may have just been...
I was here doing 15 things at once. I just thought, hey, you know what? I'm just going to jump in and do my 100 people in a row. You fucking nut job. Anyway, 98, The Miz. 97, Randy Orton. 96, Bad News Barrett. 95, Scotty 2 Hottie. 94, Brian Blair. 93, Seth Rollins. 92, Savio Vega. 91, Jimmy Powers. And 90, Tatanka. I don't... What's that?
That's a great pick.
I don't give one fucking shit about Tatanka. He never did anything for me. To not care about Tatanka at all. Talk about a guy that was pushed to the fucking moon that nobody cared about. Okay, go ahead.
If anything, it really exposes the charade that is professional wrestling when you publicly announce someone's undefeated streak and yet they're not wrestling for the title. Like, how do you have other wrestlers having championship matches when you have this guy here who hasn't been beat? Why isn't he getting a shot?
Yeah. All right. 100 to 90 for you.
My 100 is Erwin R. Shyster. 99, Chris Jericho. 98, Jeff Jarrett. 97, Antonio Inoki. 96, Shane Douglas. 95, Edge. 94, Pedro Morales. 93, Brutus Beefcake. 92, Marcus Alexander Bagwell. 91, The Big Show. And my number 90.
I forgot him. Keep going.
My number 90 is the human suplex machine, Taz.
Taz, yeah.
I never liked Taz. And, if you're a child that watched wrestling and you had friends, you probably play wrestled. You had some fun. And there was inevitably that one kid who was a no-seller who nothing hurt them. And that's no fun to play with.
Yeah.
And that's what Taz is like. He's no fun for me.
89, Jim Duggan. 88, Jim Neidhart. 87, Rene Goulet. 86, The Berserker. 85, Hillbilly Jim. 84, Sheamus. 83, Papa Shango. 82, Val Venus. 82, Sam Houston. 81, Val Venus. And number 80, Shane the Man McMahon. Another guy, fuck him. Fuck that guy, man. Like, stay out of the ring. You're going to die there. And your dad doesn't love you either. So just remember that. He doesn't love you. He doesn't care if you get shot in the ring. Just fuck it. Get him out of the ring. Just move him and do it quickly. Do it quickly because we got to get the show on the road. We don't care about him. Move on. That's Shane to everybody. But go to your next. Go to yours.
Yeah, that's a good pick. My 89 is Greg Gagne. 88, Tugboat. 87, Chief J Strongbow. 86, Bob Sparkplug Holly. 85, Virgil. 84, Warlord. 83, Dolph Ziggler. 82, The Godfather. 81, Elegante. And my number 80 is Jake Hagar / Jack Swagger / Get Off My Television Forever.
He is fucking horrible.
I hate him.
He is awful. He is awful. He's
not a good professional wrestler. And there are certain wrestlers that you're excited to see.
He's not one of them.
Never been one of them.
Yeah. 79, Crush. 78, IRS. 77, Bob Sparkplug Holly. 76, Jimmy Jack Funk. 75, Jerry Lawler. 74, Dino Bravo. I don't like that one. 73, Comma. 72, SD Jones. 71, Tiger Jeet Singh. And number 70, Jesse the Body. You are fucking awful overrated, man.
Well, here's the thing. I was tempted if you think just his ring work, but he's so good on the microphone.
I know, but his ring work's
great color commentator.
He was.
I don't want to watch him wrestle, though. I agree with you there.
Russell was the shit. What's that?
It's just hard to hate Jesse. Like,
I don't hate his commentator, but as a wrestler, he was awful.
Oh yeah, there's no denying that.
So 70 to 7 or 79 to 70.
My 79 is Hiroshi Wajima. 78, Lash LaRue. 77, Lita. 76, Sika. 75, Nikolai Volkov.
I can't believe that high. I can't believe he didn't go higher. That's crazy. Keep going.
74, Orlando Jordan. 73, Randy Orton. 72, Matt Morgan. 71, Ivan Putski. And my number 70, Tommy Dreamer. Fuck off. I don't like
he's not. Yeah. Take the shirt off, Tommy. Take the shirt off, buddy. Let's see what's under that shirt. Bunch of fucking beers. What's under that shirt? All right. 69 to 60. We have Pedro Morales at 69, Junkyard Dog at 68, Adam Bomb at 67, 66, Tess, 65, Lou Albano, 64, The Warlord, 63, Jack Swagger, 62, Dean Douglas, 61, Sid, and number 60, Uncle Elmer.
Although his wedding did provide great television.
Doesn't matter. Him in the ring was fucking beyond bad.
My 60. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's it. Yeah.
My 69 is Sean Stasiak. 68, Billy Gunn. 67, Crush. 66, Mosh. 65, Bill Goldberg. 64, Bray Wyatt. 63, Angelo Mosca. 62, Joe Gomez. 61, Mo. And my number 60 is Ahmed Johnson. I'm just a viewer, so he hurt me in different ways than his opponent.
Yeah, he's fucking bad. Yeah, boys are like, oh god, I gotta get rid of this guy. At least Vader was good. Vader would fuck you up, but at least he was good fucking you up.
Oh yeah. I'll like I don't care. I don't feel the pain. I don't care if these guys are getting hurt. I'm watching professional wrestling. I just want you to have good matches, and Ahmed did not want to do that for me.
59, Sable. 58, Mr. Hughes. 57, my former favorite wrestler of all time, George Steele, when I was 10. 56, Baron McKeel Sokola. 55, I fucked up and put a full tag team in here, but whatever. I don't look at the look. Look at the anger look. Men on a mission. 54, your boy, Ahmed Johnson. 53, Blackjack Mulligan. 52, Sika. 51, China. And 50, Damian Demento. Because, I don't really give a fuck about him. Everything I ever seen him was shit. I mean, I never seen him have a good match, so that guy sucks.
Yeah,
that's the purpose of the list. Okay, so number 59 to 50.
My 59 is Glacier. 58, Phineas I. Godwin. 57, Gene Snitsky. 56, Brian Knobs. 55, Stevie Ray. 54, Reese / the Yeti.
Yeah.
53, Boogeyman. 52, Fake Razor Ramon. 51, Tyrus. And my number 50 is Test. I have been a wrestling fan since I was 5 years old, which was a long time ago. And there has never been a wrestler with a worse name than Test that I've seen.
Yeah. Well,
Beaver Cleavage, I guess, is up there. But
yeah, he wasn't that great. 49 to 40. Braun Strowman at 49. Haystacks Calhoun at 48. I've seen a few of his matches. He was fucking horrible, man. And I heard the guy stunk really bad too. Stacy Keebler at 47. Giant Baba at 46. Offa at 45. Ludwig Forga at 44. Virgil at 43. Mr. Fuji at 42. 41, Corporal Kirchner. And again, I fucked up and put a tag team in here. 40, the Bella Twins. Fuck off. Just fuck right off. And I love Bryan Danielson, so sorry for insulting your wife, but not good in the ring, buddy. Might be a very sweet girl in basic life, but as a wrestler, please don't.
I don't know. I think Nikki improved quite a bit throughout her career. She
so bad.
Hang with the Becky Lynch's, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks's. Yeah. Brie, on the other hand, was not as good, but that's neither here nor there. My number 49 is your favorite wrestler, Mantar. 48. 48 is Angelo Mosca Jr. 47, Jules Strongbow. 46, Evan Courageous. 45, Ernest the Cat Miller. 44.
Really? Keep going. I don't mind him. He was like entertaining. Not the greatest thing, but he was entertaining. But I guess it's new Chesty.
I just found that he just hogged so much TV time because I'm watching a lot of Thunders, and he has been there all over for a long time. Yeah,
they really liked him. But anyway, that's fine. Keep going.
44, Bill Kazmaier. 43, Evil. 42, Heavy Metal Van Hammer. 41, Thrasher.
Damn it, I missed Van Hammer. Fuck, keep going.
And my number 40 is Nick Kiniski. This guy is the son of Gene Kiniski. I watched his AWA stuff. I watched his WWF stuff. I've seen him in World Class, and I've never seen him have anything resembling a good performance. I'm not even talking about a good match. He looks untrained.
Well, he should have been trained well. His father was a kick-ass wrestler, but I guess not. Because his dad didn't want him in the business. Number 39, Danny Davis. Number 38, Hornswoggle. Number 37, the Blue Brothers. And I know you're upset by that one because you love them. Number 36, Brooklyn Brawler. Number 35, Salvatore Blumbo. Number 34, Big John Studd. Number 33, Sapphire, because she wrestled matches, so she counts. Number 32, your favorite wrestler of all time, Kane. Number 31, David Sammartino. And number 30, Duke the Dumpster Droese. Because fuck that guy. That guy sucked. He was not good. All right, go ahead.
My 39 is Horace Hogan. 38 is Eugene. 37, Boris Zukov. 36.
Zukov.
Yeah. 36 is Kevin Nash. 35, The Miz. 34, Eric Watts. 33, David Sammartino. 32, Nails. 31, Siva Afi. And my number 30 is Disco Inferno.
Really? I didn't mind Disco Inferno.
I did. I thought he sucked. And I thought that it wasn't so much he sucked. It was he sucked in divisions I cared about. I did not want to see Disco going for the TV title or the Cruiserweight title when I knew that there were other wrestlers that I'd much rather be watching than Disco Inferno, who's a joke.
Yeah, fair enough. 29, Ryback. 28, Nicole Bass. 27, Jay Strongbro. 26, Phil Apollo, the Doink version, because I fucking hate the face Doink version. 25, Cousin Luke. 24, Tiger Chung Lee. 23, David Flair. 22, The Missing Link. 21, Ted Arcidi. And 20, Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
See, I didn't think of putting the McMahons on there because I don't.
They're in mine, and that motherfucker was no good.
Yeah.
For a guy who owns the company and know the property, dude, learn how to take a stunner, learn how to take a bump. Just it was not a pretty sight at all. But anyway, it is what it is. You're 29 to 20.
My number 29 is Mason Ryan. 28 is Buck Zumhoff. 27, Mike Bonaire. I didn't think he was a very good wrestler. I thought that he dominated.
What about a person? What about as a person? How do you feel about as a person?
Oh, I'm only talking about their wrestling ability. If we're talking people, then my number one would be the Canadian Crippler. I'm talking about like their wrestling skills. And Buck Zumhoff was just the shits. 26 is David Otunga. 25, Johnny Grunge. 24, Hulk Hogan. 23.
You're bullshit.
Fuck that, man. Hogan was a capable wrestler for quite some time.
Yeah.
Never liked him. But then you got to take into consideration everything when he became Cunt Hogan. It was fair. Just awful. 23, Just Incredible. 22, The Road Dogg. 21, China. And my number 20 is Rockin' Rebel, an awful human and an awful wrestler. He owned I believe he had a license for either through the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission or because he had some rings, but he was booked a lot in ECW, and ECW in the early years is full of wrestlers that could compile someone's top 100 worst wrestlers, and he stood out amongst those guys. So fuck Rockin' Rebel.
Number 19, Stephanie McMahon. Number 18, Judy Martin. Number 17, Ivan Putski. Number 16, Tank Abbott. Number 15, The Wall. Number 14, David Arquette. Number 13, Fake Undertaker. Number 12, Nikolai Volkov. Number 11, The Fabulous Moolah. And number 10, Outback Jack. Only with him was he got the fuck out of there as quick as possible as he was dog shit. Outback Jack was horrible. That's my... Go ahead.
My 19 is George the Animal Steel. 18, Hugh Morris. 17, John Heidenreich. 16, Prince Iakea. 15, The Great Khali. 14, Mabel.
God damn it. Keep going.
13, Renegade. 12, Ted Arcidi. 11, Fabulous Moolah.
Oh, look at that. We're tied. Nice.
Yeah. And my number 10 is Braun Strowman. That guy, fuck off, man.
Hey, don't call me stupid. Don't call me stupid.
The thing is, with a lot of these wrestlers on the list, they poison stuff that I'm watching.
Yeah.
I don't really watch a lot, but Braun was right there when I was watching. And
so bad.
He was never a treat to see.
Number 9, Boris Zukov. Number 8, Dave Sullivan. Number 7, Mantar. Number 6, Mr. T. Number 5, The Renegade. Number 4, Nails. Number 3, Vincent Russo. Because he wrestled enough.
That's okay, fine, whatever.
He had more than one match. It's allowed.
I mean, you had Mr. T in your top 10. That's crazy to me.
He had more than one match.
Right.
Number 2, Giant Gonzalez. And what's my number 1?
It's not Brett, is it?
Zeus.
Can you imagine? Zeus is a good pick, but the thing about Zeus is he wasn't a full-time wrestler.
He wrestled more than one match. That's my theory behind my picks.
That's fine. That's fine.
Go ahead.
My number 9 is Sable. Number 8 is Undertaker. Number 7, Bubba Ray Dudley. Number 6, the Ray Apollo version of Doink the Clown.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Triple H. Number 4, Kane. Number 3, Conan. Number 2, Don Harris. And my number 1 is Ron Harris.
Oh, give me that, but you didn't put Renegade in that list.
Yeah, Renegade was my... What was he?
Okay, that's fine.
He was my number 13.
You don't like the Harris twins that much, do you?
The Harris twins suck.
Yeah.
And the Harris twins don't suck in territories and stuff that I'm not watching. They suck on shows that I've seen, and they just stand out as being boring, which is the worst thing you can be in professional wrestling, because a lot of these guys that appear on both of our lists are just laughably bad, but boring and having long matches where you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
Those are tough times.
I agree. Okay, let's jump back into the awards because we're putting along over here. We're going to jump into the next award is Manager of the Year. So we got Manager of the Year for all three of us. And I'll start. We'll go Wrestler's Main Event, Observer, PWI.
Sure. What's your pick for Wrestling Main Event?
Ooh, Jimmy Hart.
It's actually Precious Paul Ellering. He wins it with 19,648 votes.
Crazy talk.
Second place is Jimmy Hart with 16,581.
So you're talking about all these people voted like let's just multiply these votes up and see how many people actually voted.
Well, I don't think they tally up the amount of votes Jim Crockett got. Tag team seemed to have a lot of votes. Oh, Most Hated has a lot of votes. But anyway, Jimmy Hart is second place. Third is Elizabeth with 11,439 votes. Fourth, Bobby the Brain Heenan with 10,652 votes. And wait a second, let me see if I can get this. This is going to be tough.
For me? Are you trying for me?
Was it Jim Cornette?
Well, maybe. Yeah, it's a Jim Cornette Award for the next fucking 8 years. Jim Cornette wins it. Let's go take a look at his tally. Wins it with 1,268 votes. Paulie Dangerously second with 643 votes. Bobby the Brain Heenan with 522. Jimmy Hart with 255. And someone from Japan that I can't pronounce their name, so I'm not even going to fucking try. And honorable mentions, J.J. Dillon, Downtown Bruno, and Miss Elizabeth. And so, I got the Cornette thing up there. So for PWI, we're going to go with Jimmy Hart.
It is indeed Mr. Mouth of the South, James Hart. He wins Manager of the Year for...
P.S. Can I stop you for a second there? Did you ever hear the story about him at Slamboree 94 or 95?
No, maybe.
He's going to the ring. Right before he goes to the ring, they tell him, your mother was coming here, died in a car accident. And he went to the ring and managed. Could you imagine how crazy that is?
That's right.
Like he's going to the curtain and they tell him, your mother got in that car accident, she's gone, and goes out and manages it. And that, I mean, I'm not trying to be a cynical. I'm just curious to go back and watch that match to see what his demeanor is like.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, was Slamboree the one where they attacked Poffo? That was where they attacked Poffo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, because Poffo got inducted. Yeah, I'm going to go back and take a look at that match.
Yeah, because that is what compels Savage to have Flair's suspension, well, not suspension, but his retirement lifted because he lost that loser must retire match.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just a little side note with Jimmy. That's pretty crazy. But go ahead.
Yeah, so Jimmy Hart wins it with 16,116 votes. First runner-up is J.J. Dillon with 13,623 votes. Second runner-up is Jim Cornette with 10,428 votes. Third runner-up is Paul E. Dangerously with 7,351 votes. And Which one do you think won?
I'll go Jimmy. Go with Jimmy on that one.
Okay.
He had a pretty kick-ass year, man.
And I am going to agree with you. I think Jimmy Hart was the manager.
I mean, who did like Cornette had the Midnights? That's all he had.
Yeah, but that's all he
like,
needed. That's all he ever had. It was
I know,
the fact that he could go out there and just give him a microphone. And
I agree.
Whereas with Jimmy, he was part of a package deal. He managed a lot of guys and gals in '87. He was a fixture. He was there.
Yeah. All right. Next one, most hated, most popular, or most hated. Sorry. So for that, we'll go PWI, Observer. Then we'll do So PWI. Let's go with the Nature Boy, Ricky Flair.
It is indeed Ric Flair. He wins most hated wrestler of the year, as you can see here, putting the boots to the hand of stone, with 17,247 votes. First runner-up, Andre the Giant, with 14,922 votes. Second runner-up is the Honky Tonk Man, with 12,012 votes. Third runner-up is Lex Luger, with 8,125 votes. And honorable mentions totaling 14,248 include Brian Adias, Tully Blanchard, Ted DiBiase, Eddie Gilbert, Kurt Hennig, Terry Taylor, and Larry Zbyszko.
Yep. That sounds that's a good one. Okay, go with mine.
What's the category in heel of the year?
Best heel, yeah.
Best heel. I'm going to say they gave it to Flair.
They gave it to DiBiase, which is interesting. DiBiase doesn't come into like August.
June.
So, June. But, come on. That's like halfway through the year. But anyway, DiBiase gets it with 630 votes. Close second, Austin Idol at 597. Dump Matusmoto is third with 491. Terry Taylor is fourth with 419. Flair is fifth. Honorable mentions, the Honky Tonk Man, Andre the Giant, Ricky Chosu, and Kurt Hennig. And for wrestling's main event, wrestling's main event. What are we going to go with that one? Let's go with Flair again.
Yep, it is indeed the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. He wins most hated wrestler of the year with 54,691 votes. Second place is the Honky Tonk Man with 31,478 votes. Third place is Lex Luger with 18,614 votes. And fourth, Tully Blanchard with 14,143 votes.
I'm going, you know what? I'll take Flair, but I'm going Honky on that year.
Okay.
Like, I'll take Flair, but I think Honky is the actual heel of the year. I don't know how you feel about that.
It's tough because he wins the title in June. So half the year he's
still pretty good as a heel, even with
Jake
Roberts is
stuff.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, but he feels very like in the mix. Like he's just one of the guys on the card. It's not until he wins the IC title that all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, he's different from Hercules and Butch Reed and whomever.
And I still don't believe that theory that Butch Reed was supposed to win the title. I don't believe that.
No, that's bullshit.
That's the gimmick to that's in Honky wins it by a fluke. And it's a very smart booking decision on their part, the way they did it. Like, I loved Honky as a heel. Once he loses that title, he goes downhill fucking fast.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have refused to lose the belt. He shouldn't have refused to lose the belt to Savage at main event. That's what fucked him.
Yeah, but had he not, he would not have been the longest reigning IC champion to this day, and still riding that.
I thought Orton beat his title reign.
No.
Are you sure?
100%.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to go with the next award is going to be Match of the Year. No, sorry, Feud of the Year. So there's nothing for the main event for that one. We don't have anything at all, so we're just going to do two with this one. So Feud of the Year for the Wrestling Observer will start. What is the Feud of the Year?
Is it Hogan Andre?
It is Jerry Lawler, Tommy Rich, and Austin Idol. Couldn't find a good picture of that, so we went with that. For people listening to this, if you go to our YouTube page, you can actually see I put the pictures up. Anyway, so that is Feud of the Year, runner-ups, Savage and Steamboat, Inoki and Saito, Andre and Hogan, Savage and Honky. Then we have our own mention, Jumbo Tsuruta and Tenryu, Ric Flair and Ron and Jimmy Garvin, the new leaders versus now leaders, Ric Flair versus Barry Windham, Terry Taylor versus Chris Adams, Strikeforce versus the Islanders, and the Four Horsemen versus the Road Warriors and Superpowers. Feud of the Year for you, I'm going to go with Hogan Andre.
It is the Four Horsemen versus the Road Warriors and Superpowers. They win it with 15,915 votes. First runner-up is Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat with 13,792 votes. Second runner-up is Jerry Lawler versus Rich and Idol with 9,251 votes. Third runner-up is Brian Adias versus Kevin Von Erich with 7,283 votes. And honorable mentions totaling 20,912 include Abdullah the Butcher versus Bruiser Brody, Chris Adams versus Terry Taylor, Tully Blanchard versus Dusty Rhodes, Midnight Express versus Rock and Roll Express, Nikita Koloff versus Lex Luger, and Colonel De Beers versus Jimmy Snuka.
I'm going to mention something real quickly. We don't mention the background, but do you see that right down there? Second to last. The WF magazine.
Yeah.
You see that? What's that headline say?
Missy Hyatt. Interesting.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. As we try to disacknowledge the headlines in the background, I thought that was pretty fun because it's just interesting. Missy Hyatt. And he's usually there for one TV taping.
Yeah.
I found it hilarious. They actually put her in the magazine. It's different.
Well, they probably had big plans.
This week's Eddie they didn't bring Eddie in. Is that basically why she left? Or I think Eddie got jealous or something like that.
I'm not sure.
Well, she probably should have stuck around. I ever see them segments?
No, I have not.
They're on Daily Motion.
Okay. I'll have to say a look.
Couple.
So I remember reading about it in the magazines. They would call it Missy's Manor, and they said that it was a flop.
Her and Honky, her and Savage and Elizabeth. And I want to think her with Adonis and Jimmy Hart. Yeah.
When was that?
Right after Mania. Like the taping right after Mania.
Because that's all he was there for?
Yeah. And it's like, I think, I'm pretty sure. Check it out. You know what? To help me, I'll put that right in the description. I'll find it, put it in the description, everybody. They can take a look at it. Because it's definitely, it's different for sure. Okay.
What's your pick there?
Pardon me?
What's your pick?
I'll go with the Superpowers against the Horsemen because I didn't see any of the Memphis stuff.
Yeah, so it was on the Memphis stuff. The Austin Idol. Yeah, I'm going with the Lawler and Rich and Idol. I thought they had some great promos. It awakened me to Austin Idol, and that's why he made my top 100. He's really good.
So match of the year. All three magazines have it. Mm-hmm. We'll start with Russell's main event, go to the Observer, and then we will jump into the PWI.
Sure.
I'm going to go with Flair or Savage Steamboat for the main event.
Yeah. It is indeed.
So do you want to just like defeat
Randy Savage versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with 15,126 votes. Second place, War Games, the match beyond, with 8,784 votes. Third, Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan with 7,643 votes. And fourth, Ric Flair versus Ron Garvin from September 26th with 6,982 votes.
All right. Wrestling Observer.
I'm going to say it's Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat.
It is Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat. I know you like that little picture I just put up.
Yeah.
If for people who aren't watching and listening, I'm showing the picture of the old, what are they? The old Hostess cards that came back in the day?
No, those are Tops /OPG.
Trading cards, my bad. Yeah. And it has the famous, and my favorite spot in that match is Steamboat backdrop and Savage on the ring. I love that spot. That's a fantastic spot. So, yes, that wins it. Let me go look at my runner-ups here. That was with 849 votes. Flair and Wyndham from January 20th. That was the one from Worldwide, was it not?
Yep.
Chiguchi and Osaka. I don't know, women's match. Takada Konishiga, Tokyo. Maeda and Takada versus Muto and Koshinaka from Tokyo. Our mentions Ric Flair and Barry Windham from April 11th in Baltimore. We have Jerry Lawler and Austin L. Hair versus Hair match in Memphis. Jumbo Tsuruta and Tenryu from Tokyo, October 6th. War Games from July 4th. That's it. Oh, sorry. Bockwinkel and Henning from May 2nd in San Francisco. So that's that. PWI, I'm guessing Savage and Steamboat.
Yep, it is indeed. Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat from WrestleMania 3.
And you know what's interesting? What is on the background right now that we can't really see? Total fluke, too.
Yeah.
Savage and Steamboat, yeah.
They win it with 15,192 votes. First runner-up is War Games, The Match Beyond, with 13,673 votes. Second runner-up, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant,
Oh, really?
12,768 votes.
Look
And
down
check
the
this
bottom.
out.
Yeah.
Third, Ron Garvin versus Ric Flair with 7,144 votes. So it's the exact same order as wrestling's main event.
Huh, that's surprising.
And honorable mentions totaling 17,493 include Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee's victory over Austin Idol and Tommy Rich in a scaffold match on June 15 in Memphis. Lex Luger's July 11 victory over Nikita Koloff for the U.S. title in Greensboro. The Midnight Express's victory over the Road Warriors in the quarterfinals of the Crockett Cup Tag Team Tournament on April 11 in Baltimore. Kurt Hennig's May 2 victory over Nick Bockwinkel for the AWA World title in San Francisco.
Super. Awesome. And by the way, I want to mention about that. This is a fun little question to ask you. What do you think the most underrated match in 1987 was?
I mean, it's very tough to answer underrated because it's like you'd have to go deep in order to go.
Pick something on the top of your head.
I guess my first thought was Savage and Brett from Saturday Night's Main Event.
Tag team Survivor Series match.
Yeah, it's a good one too.
Yeah, very underrated match. I know like the Bolsheviks were in it. I get that, but they didn't do a whole lot of it.
I prefer the 88 version to the 87 one.
I like the 87 one better. Yeah, but anyway, go ahead.
I just find with the 87 version, if you watch it, they didn't know how to shoot 20 men in the ring.
Yeah.
So a lot of asses. So it's just like you're
Hey. You insulted
a lot of crotch area. It's they need to go higher anyway.
Yeah. No, they don't. They're fine. Stay where they're at. All right. So the next award is going to be Editor's Award for you, Most Embarrassing Wrestler for me, and Woman of the Year for Main Event. So we'll go Editor's Award, Most Embarrassing Woman of the Year. Editor's Award, who the hell knows? Like, you don't know what these. They just pick random people out of the blue. I'll go with Dusty. I don't know. Dusty? No, sorry, wait. Magnum TA.
That's a good guess. Dusty didn't make any sense because he was an active wrestler. Editor's Award is Paul Bosch.
Oh, because he retired. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
He wins it. Now, most disgusting promotional tactic? Is that
no, most embarrassing wrestler.
Oh, most embarrassing wrestler.
I better stay up here.
Is it Andre?
George, the Animal Steel. And where did this come from? What is that? I don't know. What is that? I found that on the internet. I can't figure that out.
I don't know if I have one right beside me, but I do. Hold on.
Let's see. I'm curious about this now. I'll give the runner-ups here in a second.
Circle K. It's
Oh yeah, I know Circle K.
It's like a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, we have a bunch here. Oh my goodness, you know what's crazy with Circle K? I'll tell you a story about that. I was I'm gonna tell my run-ups here. I was coming home one night after having alcoholic beverages at a gathering, and I was walking home, and I had to stop to take a urination. So I went to okay. I'm like, oh, I'll go to pee, and I walked into the bathroom, and there was just shit everywhere. So it was just shit all over the place. I'm like, oh my god! Like someone just said, toilet, not for me. Floor, better idea. And I was like, wow, I'll just do it outside.
Decisions were made. It's entirely possible there was 2 people in there. One was already on the toilet, and the other person had to go.
Okay, let's just drop that right away. We'll jump back into that. I'm going to go to my runner-ups. Adrian Adonis is second. Giant Bob is third. Fourth is Dusty Rhodes. And fifth is Jimmy Valiant. Women of the Year, Sensational Sherry. Sherry Martel.
That's a good guess. It is indeed not Sherry Martel. It is Precious. She wins it with 20,574 votes. In second place, Sensational Sherry Martel with 18,504 votes. Third, Elizabeth with 14,114 votes. And fourth, Misty Blue Sims with 13,247 votes.
Fantastic. That's great. All right. Last normal award of the evening is going to be Wrestler of the Year. We'll go PWI, Wrestling Observer. Oh, what was that? No, we'll go main event, Wrestling Observer, PWI.
Sure.
So the main event, I'm going to give them Luger.
Luger. No, it is the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Woo. He wins it with 17,424 votes. Second place, Hulk Hogan with 11,415 votes. Third, Barry Windham with 10,746 votes. Fourth, Ron Garvin with 8,514 votes. And now that we're completely done the Wrestling's Main Event Awards.
You can show it all, yeah.
This is why I couldn't show you before. So
okay.
they were just like this. So this is the...
How could they do that knowing we're going to do Newsstand versus Newsletter almost 40 years later? The fucking nerve of them people.
It's poor planning is what it is.
They should be like, you know what? Later on in the podcast, you know what I'll do? I'll call Doc Brown, get in a time machine, and go back and tell them. I won't do anything else. Just go back and tell them, listen, when you do this, 40 years from now, I'm going to be doing a podcast on you guys. So I want to know who's doing your voting also. Wrestler of the Year for the Wrestling Observer.
Is it Ric Flair?
Ricky Chosu.
Oh, wow. That's a surprise.
Yeah, Ricky Chosu wins it with 1,042 votes. Ric Flair was second with 1,005 votes. The Hulkster brother, he's third with 647 votes. Ted DiBiase is fourth with 206. And Nagao, the Japanese woman wrestler, 205. Honorable mentions, Randy Savage, Tenryu, Owen Hart, Takada, Barry Windham, and Mr. Kurt Hennig. And then I'm going to go PWI. I'm going to pick Ric Flair also PWI.
It's actually the Hulkster brother.
The Hulkster wins it. Okay.
Yep. Hulk Hogan wins Wrestler of the Year for Pro Wrestling Illustrated with 20,347 votes. First runner-up is Ric Flair with 14,516 votes. Second runner-up is Randy Savage with 10,817 votes. Third runner-up is Steve Williams with 7,921 votes. And honorable mentions totaling 13,214 include Ronnie Garvin, Kurt Hennig, Nikita Koloff, Lex Luger, and Rick Steamboat.
I'm actually going to go with Hogan on that one. Because Hogan had a pretty good year. You got to give it to him. Has a run with Orndorff, goes with Andre, has some good run with Harley Race in the summer. Goes back to Andre in the winter. I mean, I think he had a good year. The Andre matches weren't great, but let's be realistic about it. He sold out a ton of fucking tickets for people to see it. So he gives us credit.
I didn't get a dime from that, though. So I'm going Ric Flair for Wrestling Observer and Wrestling's Main Event. And
he didn't get Observer. Chosu got it.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm going with Wrestling Main Event, Ric Flair.
All right. What's the tally?
The final tally is Scott Bernard chooses.
Give my full name now. They're gonna be looking for me on Facebook, the fuckers.
The future.
I don't go on dates with people I don't know unless you're paying for dinner. Okay. And I'm a fat fuck. I eat a lot, so just let you know you're paying for dinner. It's gonna be expensive.
The future Hall of Famer Scotty B. You can edit that in post if you want.
Yeah, I will. I will.
He gave it to Pro Wrestling Illustrated with 6 picks. Like he chose Pro Wrestling Illustrated to get it right 6 times. Wrestling Observer Newsletter 4 times. Wrestling's Main Event twice. Hacksaw Andy gave PWI the nod 4 times. Wrestling Observer Newsletter also 4 times, and Wrestling's Main Event twice. So I tied it.
All right. What do you got for predictions in the PWI? Or no, you got In Memoriam. Let's jump into In Memoriam there.
There was only 2 that they gave, which is unfair because there were more than 2 wrestlers that died in 1987. Because I actually looked it up because I was curious.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they did not do the In Memoriam. They just, in passing, mentioned a couple of wrestlers that died. And that is, of course, Mike Von Erich and Malcolm King Kong Kirk, who died in the ring on August 24th in a match against Big Daddy in England.
Oh, well, there you go. All right. You got some predictions and stuff? I think you see some of them, right?
I do have some predictions, but I also have 1988 should be their year.
Okay.
They include 5 acts. Okay. Or sorry, 4 acts.
Nick Kanitsky. Jesus Christ, what am I thinking? We're both frozen. What's going on here? Okay, there we go. I'll edit that out. Nick Kanitsky, Kendall Windham, Brian Pillman, Owen Hart.
That's it.
Okay, what do we got? Did I get you right?
You did. 1988 should be their year. Bam Bam Bigelow, The New Breed, Strike Force, and Owen Hart.
Oh, look at that. There we go. All right,
and so I do have some predictions for 1988 before we, of course, get to the rest of the Observer Awards. Celebrities for WrestleMania 4 will be the Beastie Boys doing commentary with Jesse Ventura, Whitney Houston singing America the Beautiful to kick off.
They didn't have that much fucking money at that time.
The thing is, okay, so I know Pro Wrestling Illustrated doesn't do it anymore, and if you are a PWI powers that be that's watching Newsstand versus Newsletter, why not bring back the predictions? It's a fun. Little...
They're not in good shape, dude. PWI isn't pretty. I follow their Instagram, man.
They still exist, though.
I know, but they're hanging onto a thread.
You know,
they're hanging onto a thread, dude. They're not even getting their stuff out like early enough. It's a mess. I'm not trying to insult them. Listen, I help a company that's in really bad shape also. I get it, but they're not looking good. Maybe keep going.
Pee Wee Herman as guest timekeeper and George C. Scott as ring announcer. Ric Flair will lose the NWA World title to Barry Windham, but will gain it back after 2 days. Lex Luger will leave the Four Horsemen and head to the WWF, where he will be a tough challenger to Hulk Hogan. Vince McMahon will promote the first annual Vince McMahon Sr. Memorial Cup tournament. Bruno Sammartino will turn on Vince McMahon while broadcasting.
Well, he didn't turn on him broadcasting. He turned on him after broadcasting with him. Keep going.
And telling him to stop being so biased and saying he's tired of playing dumb to McMahon's lies and misinformation.
Well, he does that in real life.
Wendy Richter will challenge Sherry Martel for the WWF Women's title, becoming a rule breaker. After months in Hollywood, Roddy Piper will return to the WWF, a rule breaker, managed by Jimmy Hart.
It's interesting because keep going. Sorry, go ahead.
That was Philip Bruno from New York, New York.
You know, the plan was supposedly with Piper. They were considering putting Piper and Hogan at Mania 6. That was like early rumors, turning him heel and putting Piper with Heenan. But if you look back, remember Primetime, they had that whole angle where he hated Heenan. But it is WWF, and who fucking knows that company? They're like, oh, hate you 1 week, love you the next.
Yeah.
So order from Hogan. Keep going.
So I'm going to read a few more of these. The Rougeaus will win the WWF Tag Team titles from the Hart Foundation, but will lose them to the Islanders. Jerry Lawler will lose and win back the AWA Southern Heavyweight title 6 times. The WWF Intercontinental title will bounce around from champion to champion in this order. Honky Tonk Man, Jake Roberts.
Is this the Intercontinental title or the WWF title?
Intercontinental.
Okay, keep going.
Honky Tonk Man, Jake Roberts, Butch Reed, and Junkyard Dog. New additions to the WWF will be Mil Mascaras, Black Bart,
Yeah.
Conga the Barbarian, and Kendo Nagasaki.
Well, Conga the Barbarian comes in. No, that was John Nord.
Nope, that was Nord the Barbarian. Conga does come in as
Yeah, okay, the Barbarian. Yeah, okay, keep going.
Bart will be in the Heenan family, and Kendo will be managed by Mr. Fuji. Ron Bass will get
That makes
some
no sense. Kendo wouldn't be. Why would he be? If he was coming as a heel, he would not be managed by Fuji.
Why not?
Fuji manages like the kind of like darker kind of gimmicks. He wouldn't manage Kendo Windham.
No, Kendo Nagasaki.
Oh, my bad. I apologize. That was Kendo.
Yeah.
Windham. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Ron Bass will get some title shots at Hulk Hogan after publicly whipping him in a non-title match. Dusty Rhodes will suffer a serious back injury in a match with Lex Luger. Owen Hart will move to the Mid-Southern area near the end of the year. It was Chris Porter from Berrien Springs, Michigan. Next up, the world-class area will fold around March or April. The AWA will begin picking up more new talent and will eventually be on par with the NWA and WWF. New additions to the WWF will be Larry Zbyszko, Kevin Sullivan, Wendy Richter, Sergeant Slaughter, Stan Hansen, the Rock and Roll Express, and Ric Flair. Like, okay.
Yeah.
You went 0 for everything there. The Honky Tonk Man will get by his feud with Randy Savage by the skin of his teeth, but will lose the Intercontinental title to Bam Bam Bigelow. Hulk Hogan will retain his title, but will face tough challenges from Nick Bockwinkel, Stan Hansen, Ric Flair, and Andre the Giant. Bobby Heenan will recruit David Sammartino and Nord the Barbarian, who will give Ken Patera a hard time. Jim Powers and Paul Roma will become a top-rated tag team after taking on Oliver Humperdinck as a manager. Roddy Piper will return to wrestling. That was Nick Forte from Clifton Park, New York. And I'm going to do one more. Ric Flair will lose the NWA title, fail to win it back, and move to the AWA, where he will win that world title. Lex Luger will lose the U.S. title to Nikita Koloff. Due to lack of competition, Hulk Hogan will retire and join a Tibetan monastery. Vince McMahon will decide he has enough money and will retire. Nope. A little off there.
No, yeah, no, he's still fucking going.
Gene Okerlund will take over the WWF, which will then become a minor federation. After a breakup of the Four Horsemen, J.J. Dillon will start his own federation, which will include all the wrestlers lost in the shuffle of the WWF. Ric Flair will defect to this federation, as will many others. The Fabulous Moolah will win her WWF Women's title back from Sherry Martel, and that was Carol Mason from Springfield, Missouri.
You have lots of hope there, Carol. Not a whole lot of that. That's a lot of stuff happening in 1 year. All right. Let me hop into our secondary awards. Get that out of there. All right. Most outstanding wrestler of the year.
Is that Flair?
Ric Flair. Owen Hart is second. Most unimproved wrestler.
I love that name.
Yeah. Talks to people like that with that. There you go.
Is it George Animal Steel?
It is Butch Reed. Jim Duggan, Steve Williams, George Tekanoa, and then there's a bunch more. Nikita Koloff, Adrian Adonis. Fuck Dynamite Kid, come on. I don't like the guy, but he broke his back. Jesus Christ, Meltzer.
Well,
Terry Gordy.
It's Meltzer's readers.
Well, his readers are assholes. Buddy Landell, Paul Roke, Ray Valentine, Bob Orton. Most obnoxious.
Vince McMahon.
David Crockett.
Oh, yeah.
David Crockett wins it. Dusty Rhodes is second. Vince is third. Best on interviews.
Is it Jim Cornette?
You don't say. Would Jim Cornette get an award in this one? Yeah, Jim Cornette. Ric Flair second. Paulie Dangerously third. Most charismatic.
Hulk Hogan.
It is Hulk Hogan. The Road Warriors are seconds. Ricky Chozu's third. Best technical wrestler.
Is it Kurt Hennig?
Takada. Owen Hart second. Akira Midas third. And Kurt Hennig's in the honorable mentions. Best brawler.
Bruiser Brody.
Bruiser Brody wins it. Second to Brody is Terry Gordy. Still Williams is third. Best flying wrestler.
87. tough. Is it Owen?
Owen Hart, Bobby Eaton second, Tiger Mask is third. Most overrated wrestler.
Is it Hulk Hogan?
Dusty. Hogan is a close second. The votes was 698, 798 to 767. Nikita Kolov's third. Most underrated wrestler.
Is it Bobby Eaton?
Brad Armstrong. Pat Tanaka's second. Bret Hart is third. Best promotion.
Is it New Japan?
New Japan's a war, baby. Titan Sports finishes second. All Japan Women, Jim Crockett Promotions, JR Promotions, all mentioned. Stampede Wrestling, All Japan Pro Wrestling, UWF, and UWA in Mexico. Best television show.
It's got to be New Japan, right?
Nope. Memphis.
Oh, yeah.
Second, New Japan. WWF Superstars is third. Best television announcer.
Lance Russell?
Lance Russell. Jim Ross is second. Tony Savoy is third. Worst television announcer.
Is it Gorilla?
David Crockett. Bill Mercer second. Your boy Gorilla Monsoon is third. Best wrestling move.
87. That's tough. Is it Space Flying Tiger Drop?
No, it's Yamada's Shooting Star Press. Number 2 is Diamond and Tanaka's Slingshot DDT.
That's
number
Jushin Liger.
Yep. And number 3 is Masashi Ito's Saito Suplex. Hardest worker, which is a fucking weird one. Well, it's not as strange as the strongest wrestler. That's very fucking weird.
So this is hardest worker?
Yeah.
Ric Flair?
Woo! Ric Flair. Yeah. Bret Hart, Masa Saito. Biggest shock of the year.
Is it Crockett buying UWF?
Yes, it is. Number 2 is Mike Von Erich's suicide, because that's less shocking than the UWF getting bought out.
Well, at that point.
Well, it wasn't
I guess that was the first Von Erich suicide. So
yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't that crazy, but it was still shocking. Honky Tonk Man wins the IC title. The fall of the NWA. Ron Garvin wins the NWA title. Honorable mentions: death of Hiroto Sona in a plane crash. That was a guy from Old Japan, was it not?
Yeah, he was also Magic Dragon in Mid-Atlantic, World Class, a few other territories.
Akira Maeda shoe kicks Riki Chosu in the fall of New Japan. Best color commentator.
Jesse?
Jesse wins it. Nick Bockwinkel is second. Missy Hyatt comes third. Strongest wrestler.
Is it Steve Dr. Death Williams?
It is. Road Warrior Animal is second. Doug Furness is third. Reader's favorite wrestler.
Ric Flair?
Ricky Woo Flair. Takada second. Owen Hart's third. Reader's least favorite wrestler.
Is that Dusty?
Dusty wins it. Hogan's second. Ricky Chosu's third. And Honky Tonk Man is fourth. Nikita Koloff. Worst wrestler.
Outback Jack?
The Junk Food Dog. Andre Giant second. Jimmy Valiant. Ivan Putski. Bugsy McGraw. Worst tag team.
Killer Bees?
Jimmy Valiant, Bugsy McGraw. Boris Zukov and Soldat Onsadov. I don't know who the hell that is, but it's...
Soldat Ustinov. Yeah, he also went by the name Tony Rumble, the Boston Bad Boy.
Okay, yeah. Barbie Dolls and the Bolsheviks. Worst television show.
Is it World Class?
World Class wins it, baby. AWA on ESPN second. Deep South and Glow. NWA on TBS. Worst manager of the year.
Mr. Fuji?
The Mr. Fuji Award. He wins it all the time. Paul Jones is second. Sir Oliver Humperdinck is third. We're going to jump into the next one. Worst match of the year.
Is it Hogan Andre?
It is. Giant Baba and Raging Lion is second. Dave Davis and fucking George Steele. Sorry, it's main event. My God. Talk about a guy, Davis, who goes from being pretty high in the card at Mania 3 to going real. He goes down super fucking fast.
I've said it before. If they would have just gave that to Dean Malenko, because the heat of a referee that we are 100% kayfabe era. And so when you have that evil referee, that was just a recipe for the fans to hate. If they would have just given a competent wrestler who could play incompetent, like play that he's not very good, but still be technically proficient.
But you know what it was? You know the whole deal with Danny Davis was. Didn't he do something for Vince once years ago? He hooked Vince, did something took a fall for Vince when they're like in military school or something.
I don't know.
That's the story, at least. Who knows? Worst feud.
Danny Davis, George Animal Steel.
Damn Skippy. Butch Reed and Billy Graham, Dusty Rhodes and Lex Luger, Kevin Von Erich and Al Perez, and Kevin Von Erich and Brian Adidas. Worst on interviews.
Andre?
Bugsy McGraw. Tommy Rich is second. Steve Dr. Dove Williams is third. Kevin Kelly and Nick Kaninsky and Medusa are fourth. I guess they're all tied for fourth. Lex Luger is fifth. Worst promotion.
World Class.
Take a look at it again. Yes. AWA second. Central States, Crockett, and then Glow. Best Booker.
Is it Vince McMahon?
McMahon and Patterson, yeah. Lawler and Jarrett, Eddie Gilbert, Giant Baba, Len Denton. I'll give them that. Vince deserves that for 87 because they had a killer year. Even though they got a little lazy in the summer.
Yeah.
Like they got very lazy.
The post-Mania blues, it didn't really pick up until the Savage turn.
Oh, it was rough, man. I watched all that summer stuff. That was some dreadful shit. Best gimmick.
Is it Honky Tonk Man?
No, it is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man.
Yeah,
sorry, my hat back on here. The Honky Tonk Man is third. Road Warrior, second. Road Warrior is the third. Hulk Hogan is fourth. What the fuck is wrong with me right now? Am I having a stroke? Buddy Rogers and the Zodiac is fifth. They're tied for fifth. Worst gimmick.
Is it Bugsy McGraw?
This is the last one. It's adorable Adrian Adonis. Outback Jack is second. Muddy Wilbur is third. Fourth is George Animal Steel. And to end it all, people, fifth, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. So that is 1987 is a fun year, man. I love it. Yep. It's probably I have a serious weird guilty pleasure for 86. And if I know my guilty pleasure with Mania too, people what the fuck? I can't help it, man.
Garbage show.
Well, kind of like it.
It's fine. It's just it's tough to watch because of all the errors and just the bad audio quality.
I just love the random tag teams they put together, and it's just so the debuts are funny to watch. Just seeing who came in, it's just an interesting year. But 87 is fantastic. They got it all together then. They go, this is where we're going with it. No more.
Yeah, I would say the main problem with 87 is you really start to have a 2-horse race in the U.S.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like Memphis is still all right, but it's still just one little area. I mean, every place else is just on their last legs. I mean, Mid-South is sold that year. AWA is running on fumes. World Class is barely hanging on, and so many other territories just die with a whimper. They just stop running shows, and there's no fanfare. It's just gone. But 87 was a fun year. I absolutely love 87. I prefer a few other years, but 87 is definitely one of the ones that I think of when somebody says, "What's your favorite year in wrestling?"
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Awesome. All right. Well, don't forget, people, subscribe, hit that like button, comments, hit the notification bell for people listening on Spotify and on Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast at. Make sure you download it, like it, give us all the feedback. We're going to be putting lots of stuff here soon. We're getting our own, what would we say? Our own, can't think of the word, platform being made for us. Because, listen, we don't get a ton of views, and I ain't paying the monthly subscription to this thing every month. You're out of your mind. It's getting crazy over here. But Yeah, definitely put comments below. I will link the Missy Hyatt stuff in there, and I'll just throw a couple. Like, you sent me a ton of stuff. Maybe I'll just link all the stuff you sent me.
Yeah, do that. 87 was an action-packed year. I think that Mania 3 is the best Mania. I prefer 1, but that's purely nostalgia. I can't defend it and say that it's better.
It's a glorified house show.
Yeah, but 3 is it's the one that they always keep coming back to, and they do it for a reason. It was the zenith of that era, and other eras have their own manias that they can look to and say this was our big one, but they are not the golden era.
Oh man, I mean, look at Mania 3. That's what got me into it. Really, I was, again, as I said earlier, I was a fan, but that's what like took me from like, I'm gonna leave the racetrack on a Saturday and watch pro wrestling instead. Like that.
Yeah, you never were really into cartoons, were you? Like, did you have any other like shows that you were watching?
I watched a few cartoons as a kid, but I mean, my Saturdays consisted of get up, have breakfast, maybe watch a little bit of TV, go with my grandfather at noon, and go to the track for like 1. I'd be there till 5 and go home. And
it's crazy that you never became a big gambler. Like, no, if anything, you would think that would be a kid that is gonna have to like sell, bodily fluids.
I'll tell you something. It's funny. I technically work down there now. I don't gamble at all. I just don't do it. I'm not into it. I don't care. I'll gamble on football and stuff, but harness racing, I don't even bother, man. Because I'll put it this way. I'll tell a quick thing. I was up there one day and someone, hey, they were giving away free programs, and I had a program. They ran out. This one of these owners came and said, hey, I didn't get my free program, so here, take mine. I said, don't just whatever I wrote down on it, because I was trying to do a pick 5. I said, pick the opposite and you'll win. And that's my gambling with her. I don't know. I didn't see the rest of the day, but trust me, if you picked what I didn't pick, I don't have a shot in hell at winning in gambling. I've been going to racetrack my whole life.
I thought you had the key to win was to look at speed, not placement.
Everyone does their own thing. I'll tell you something. I hang around with a lot of some of them old dudes have been there for like 50 years. They know how to bet, but I don't have a clue. You look at speed, I guess. But we're talking about pro wrestling, not harness racing. Yeah. So anyway, everybody, that was 1987. We thank you for joining us. If you're still watching or listening, and we'll see you again.
Actually, I just thought of something. What's that? One other thing.
Okay.
1987 births. Wrestlers who
go ahead.
were born in 1987. We've got Willie Mack, Kelly, Nicole Matthews, Becky Lynch, Kyle O'Reilly, AJ Lee, Trent Beretta, Donovan Dijak, Drew Gulak, Pat McAfee, Cash Wheeler, Bray Wyatt, Richie Steamboat, Zack Sabre Jr., Johnny Gargano, Apollo Crews, Aiden English, Samir Singh, Cameron, Kazuchika Okada, Elias, Naomi, and ACH. So 87 brought the heat with a lot of wrestlers were born that year.
They were loading up on that semen. Just they were missing the goalie every fucking time, cutting holes in the condoms. All right, we thank everybody for watching Newsstand vs Newsletter 1987 edition. We will be back with another one very soon. Have a great day and a great night. Goodbye.
Beautiful plaque. Okay, the first one is Billy Jack. Billy Jack was voted by all you fans all over the world as the most improved wrestler of the year, and I'd like to give him the plaque right now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the man who received over 12,000 votes. 12,000 votes as the most popular wrestler of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the plaque, and now here's the man who won it by your choice, the former World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion.